Good evening. My name is Galen, and today we're going to take a look at Matthew chapter 6. Now, Matthew chapter 6 is basically Jesus telling us not to use religion to better ourselves amongst our community or make ourselves look good. He goes into, we shouldn't give out outwardly where people can see us giving. Do it quietly. He talks about praying. Don't do it where people can see that you're praying out loud. Do it quietly. And our fasting should be done quietly as well. We should do it where God can see it, but not fellow man. And God doesn't like it when we try to take direction of our own lives, and that's basically what you're doing when you do those things. Somebody's going to see you giving a little bit of money, and maybe they'll give you some money to help give out more. Or they'll put you in charge of something, or they'll think you're great and give you a position of authority. Somebody might see you praying outwardly, and they say, boy, that's a great guy. I'd like to have him on my side. And God doesn't like it when we do those kind of things. He likes it when we're quiet, where He directs people in His own way. So we shouldn't be doing that. Now, on the other end, you see where people are given money. Sometimes they're politicians, and sometimes they're given, they're famous and people know them. And God has put those people in our lives so that they can help us in our communities and help us to achieve our goals and get things done. If we have a cause and we need somebody who can derive that cause because they have a famous name, and the more people who, people know that name, and when they're able to use that, more people will join in to help that cause. We have people with finances that are financially stable and blessed by God that can help use some of those finances to help us as Christians and help us as, to achieve our goals within our communities or to help out people. We should be able to use that, and don't look down on somebody because God has blessed them. Look down on them if they're doing something wrong, but if they're doing things right, help them, pray for them, uplift them. God's blessing the people, and maybe God will bless you through them. So we need to understand, and we need to take that into consideration. I have something in my life that I'm getting ready to start doing. I was debating on whether I should even talk about it because I don't want to puff myself up. But at the same time, I'm on video here talking to people, and right now there's not a lot listening, but who knows? Maybe there will be, or maybe somebody will hear this down the road that's going through the same kind of thing that could use this in their life. About 2 or 3 years ago, my mom died. Well, it's been about 3 years ago. My mom died. And about 2 years before that, my dad died. And I really, really miss him. And I'd really like to talk to my mom. I used to wake up every morning on the way to work. I'd call my mom on the phone and talk to her. And I haven't been able to do that in a couple, 3 years. Anyhow, me and my wife got talking about it, and I think I'm going to go down and find some old person down at the old folks' home. Somebody that I can talk to, kind of like I did with my mom and my dad. Maybe some old guy or something, I don't know. Anyhow, it's going to help that person because that person, maybe they don't have visitors, They don't have anybody to talk to. But it's going to help me as well because I'll have somebody I can finally get to talk to, some old person that can kind of take on that role. I really do miss that. I really do. But anyhow, I'm not saying this for my glory, but maybe somebody else in the same kind of situation. I don't know. Maybe you lost your mom or your dad or, I don't know, family member or something. And maybe this is a way you can go and help yourself out. At the same time, help out somebody else. I think as Christians, that's what we really should be doing, is we should be trying to help out our fellow man in our community and help out ourselves. So anyhow, that's not trying to up myself or pick myself up. So when we read this, we need to understand that, yes, we do need to be quiet. We need not, don't try to puff yourself up. But at the same time, there's times when you do need to cry out for help or for prayer or whatever, and in no way am I trying to make myself look good. So if this is seen that way, I apologize for that, but I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to help people, and I think that might help people. Anyhow, in the latter part of the chapter, it talks about how God will provide for us along our way. I have I have examples of where I struggle because it seems like I'm still waiting on God. But again, I've given those things over to God, and God will provide, and He will take care of it in His timing, and that's not mine. But I do have an example where one time God really helped me, more than once. But I have one example that's coming to mind that God has helped me out. And that's whenever I was in IT, and I'd been promoted to take on a team called problem management. And in that team, basically, they had a problem that was over 9 months old. Everybody had looked at it. Every team in IT had looked at it, programmers and everything else. Anyhow, and I was taking on this team on a Monday, so the Thursday before, I thought I'd start looking at it and see if I can't at least identify what the problems is, so I can, when I meet with the team on Monday, I'd be able to know what I was talking about. And so, because I'm not as technical as the people I'm getting ready to talk to on Monday, these guys are really good. But I looked at it. I started on a Thursday, and I started looking at that. And at the end of the day, I went home and I had a lot of information in my head, and I prayed about it. God knows everything. I said, God, you know these things. You can provide. You know what's wrong. Lead me. Lead me to understand what that is. And I woke up in the middle of the night with a couple things that come to mind. The next morning, I got up and prayed about it again, went to work, and I targeted those areas that I had dreamed about. And believe it or not, one of them fixed it. And so Friday at noon, that problem was fixed. So it was literally about 24 hours it took to fix that problem. And everybody thought I was super dude, that was able to figure that out. But I had no clue on what was going on. But God knew. God did that. I really didn't do that. That was God revealing to that in a dream. And the funny thing is, the dream, the things that fixed it had nothing to do with the information I'd found out the day before. So God has a way of working things out. We need to lean on Him. We need to understand that He's going to guide us. And sometimes He does it right at the right time, and other times it doesn't seem like it's happening quite at the speed that you think it should. But we need to have faith in Him and understand that He will provide when it's the right time. So, anyhow, that's what I got out of Matthew chapter 6. I'm looking forward to getting on to Matthew chapter 7. So, we'll talk to you then.